ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Corley Report. I'm Corley, and today we'll be discussing Huckleberry Finn, a classic novel by Mark Twain, which was written in the late 1800s. The book had a lot of racial profiling and some terminology that would be considered racist in today's time, which brings us to our first topic of this evening's broadcast. Would somebody be able to write a story with some of the same content in today's time, and would it be accepted by the public? Which brings us to our first guest to discuss this topic, Mr. Elmer Benfield. I thoroughly appreciate you inviting me on your program this evening. How you doing? Fine, thank you, Elmer. So, Elmer, would you be, if someone wrote a book with some of the content that Huckleberry Finn has today, and you read it, would you consider it racist, or would you have any problem whatsoever with it?
No, I can't say I'd have too much of a problem with somebody writing a book with any racist content in it. As long as they wrote it good and didn't say nothing that offended me, I wouldn't see no problem with it. I might enjoy it better than some of this weird vampires and dragons and wizards stuff that they're trying to sell us on the TV anytime anymore.
So, Elmer, you wouldn't have any problem with this. Alright, thank you for your input, thank you for your time. Have a good one,
Sure do appreciate you coming down here to holler at me. I've had quite a life on this river here. It has lots of good memories that bring it back to looking at this water. Well, have a good one. I'll holler at you later.
Next guest will be joining us via webcast, and I would like to introduce our local Klansman to tonight's broadcast.
First of all, thank you for having me on your TV show. I really appreciate it. But when it comes to this racist topic, I don't see any point in it. A white's a white, a black's a black. You call it what it is. If I want to call you just sort of anything off the top of my head, I can say it. That's my First Amendment rights of freedom of speech. If you don't like it, too bad. I'm coming, Eddie. I'll be there in a minute. I'm doing this. Just have you something else to do. Well, I got to run. I got to go light this thing. We had a pretty good party. Holler at you later.
Well, it seems we have a good grasp on his stand on this issue. Looks like he had to run to a meeting. He would also like me to remind y'all that next Saturday night, the local Klan chapter will be having its annual barbecue. All races and genders are more than welcome to attend. Our next guest here on the Corley Report is Mr. Vanilla Ice Cream. Vanilla Ice Cream is our next guest, if I'm reading my teleprompter correctly. Vanilla Ice Cream, alright? So, Vanilla, or do you go by Vanilla? You know, let's just not even worry about that. Vanilla. Alright, so how would you feel if someone went back and read Huckleberry Finn and tried to write a book with some of the same racial slurs and terminology, and they used that terminology to write a book today and released it in today's time period?
Man, thanks for putting me on your show this evening, man. I ain't been in front of this camera since the last time I was on Cops. That's crazy, man. They follow cameras with you everywhere. You be running and they be chasing you with a camera, man. That ain't cool. But yeah, about that Huckleberry Finn book. Now, I had to put that thing down after the first 5 chapters. That word that they just kept throwing at my face, that was disrespectful to my kinfolk. You know, my home dogs, man.
But you're white.
Cracker, I know I be white. You white, I white. That's pretty obvious right now. But you know what I be talking about, man? About my home dog, man. You know, the boys down up in the hood, man. They be darker than the sky on a moonless night. And they know what they be talking about. They mad at this book. They ain't gonna pick up that book again. And if somebody tried to write a book like that in today, that would not fly at all. They be up on him. They be beating on him all night. That cracker be dead in like 5 minutes.
So you're saying that if somebody tried to write a book like that today, that you would go execute them or kill them?
Not me, man. I ain't gonna kill him. I ain't gonna kill him, man. Look at me. I'm white. I ain't gonna kill him. Crack, I ain't gonna be going to kill nobody. I leave that to hood rats, man. I ain't gonna kill nobody. Thanks for having me on your television program. Feels good not to have you having to run. Get to sit on this nice couch. You know, can't say I'm a big fan of the color, but you know, whatever works for you. But, you know, I gotta run. I crashed with P. Diddy tonight. And P. Diddy's mama said, you better not be making your children read that book, or P. Diddy's mama gonna come down and give you a whooping, cracker.
Appreciate you coming to talk with us, and we thank you for your input, which we can tell that you obviously would not purchase this book if someone tried to write it again, and probably would not enjoy Huckleberry Finn if they tried to read it again. So we thank you for your time, and I don't appreciate him being called Cracker. Yeah, you better run, Cracker. Time we have on tonight's broadcast. We'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us this evening. We'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning into our program. That's all we have. Uh-huh.